You are learning Power BI and you want to learn advanced concepts. You want to know how to apply the concept you have learned as a beginner in Power BI, then this is the series for you. So watch this complete series, know how various concepts can be applied to achieve different results. Subscribe to the channel. Hello and welcome to another video on abstract thesis series. And in today's video, we are going to discuss a case when you come to us on community and you ask a question like, I have two tables and they have many to many join. How do I solve that problem? Or you come across two tables and say, what should be the best model for it? Sometimes they can have many to many joins, sometimes they doesn't have, and we suggest create some common table and analyze with those with the help of those common tables. So what does that mean when we are saying create common table and analyze with the help from those common tables? So let's first take an example what kind of tables you can have. So this is my table data one, which is basically having like item, category, date and sales. Then I have a second table also, which is having item, category, date and purchase. So there could be more fields. Right now these just for this example we've taken. So you can see there are three common fields, and any join you will make it is going to create a many to many join. So what you would like to see here is basically to do this in a manner that you can create some common tables and utilize this. Okay, because if you want to use item from data 1 or data 2, it's not going to suffice your need. Many to many join and then you will not get the correct data. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a model where we are going to do it. Now the best approach is that I do it at the source. The second best approach is I do it in Power Query, and the third approach is that I do it in DAX. So right now in this video we are going to do it in using DAX, and then in some other video we'll try out the same thing using Power Query. Okay, so now let's jump onto the Power BI and put this data in. So what I'm going to do is, one way is that I load this file, and another way is I just copy paste and do enter data. So I'm going to do that copy paste and enter data. So because if I share this file, then you don't have to worry about where the Excel is. I'm going to call it data one. And I'm going to say load. While it is loading, let's go and copy this data two. Let me call it data two here also. Save it. Now that data is loaded. And again, under the home tab, enter data, paste it. Seems like did not paste it correctly. Copy it again, paste it. Okay. And then data 2. And we say load. Now, what common it has? So one is basically item, category and date. Now for date, we say, I'll always say you create a date table, mark it as a date table. So that's one of the simplest thing. And what I do is typically for such scenario, I create a date table. And what I have done is I already have had this date table code from one of my blogs, and you can also take it. I'll provide that link into the video description. Otherwise, all my time intelligence videos will have that link. Okay, so we got a date table code, and how do we create a new table? So once you clicked on any of the table, you will see table tool, and under the table tool you have new table. Also in the home tab you have option for new table. Now when you are on the data, at least you should be able to see that. Now I go and create a new table, and in the new table I'm going to give this table as a name as a date. Some of you might like to give this as a name as calendar. It's already, the script already had the name, so I deleted that. Now this is all tested table, hopefully. So yes, it worked. So we got date table, and I have taken care already that, you know, I have data of 2022. So I'm getting this. And this is one of the generic codes which I've taken. Those of you who are following me on the Medium, I have a blog where, you know, you take one variable, you define this one variable, which is the end month. And using that, you can generate the calendar for any standard month. So you want your end month to be first month, you give it 1. You want second February to be your end month, you give 2. And it will go to generate complete calendar. Now I have reduced the number of columns here, but if you look at the Medium blog, you will get a lot more columns. So go ahead and try that out and subscribe to the Medium, my blogs too also. so that you can get whenever I'm writing down some blocks. So we got a date table, and whenever we create a date table, what we do is we go right click on the date table and we mark that as date table. So right click and mark as a date table, mark as a date table, and then we select a date column and we say validate. And whenever we do this, you will notice that the date column will become a key and the hierarchy will go away. And when I'm going to join it with those tables, they will also lose date hierarchy. So let me join this. So I come to the model view now. Into the model view, I can see all three tables now, and I drag the date and keep it here, and I drag the date and keep it here. Now this is showing a correct join one to many single directional. This is showing one to one because we might have all the unique dates. So I'm going to correct it. Date table is on one side. The data table is on the many side. So one to many, and I'm going to make it single directional. Or let me keep it both directional to show you, what kind of challenges we can see. So one to many, I'm keeping it right now both directional, and see when we come across more tables, then let's see what happens, because we are not going to have one dimension, and also we are having more than one fact here. So in that scenario, you might face that issues, and I'm going to tell you the solution also. So the next thing which I'm going to do is, because I want to do this solution on DAX, I'm going to create tables, more tables, and that table now I'm going to create using the DAX code. So I'm going to say again new table. So item is one of the common dimensions, so I'm going to call it as item. And whenever I'm seeing item, this is basically lookup table or the common table or the dimension, basically one which contain the unique keys. So item is going to be unique in this. Now, if the item and the category are unique, I can take both item and category together using summarize. Okay. And then I can union from all and take the distinct. But if item and category means one item can have different categories in different places, then I need to have separate item and category tables. Otherwise, I need to create some kind of manipulation to get, for the distinct IDs and all those. So right now I'm not going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two different dimensions, item and category, because right now I am in this case not sure that one item has only one category. Okay. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the union of, now one of the way is basically you take all the values, but what I have observed in the past, if those value which we are taking from here, like I can say union all this and all of that, and then I can take distinct outside. Okay, so what I can do here is basically data1.cat, data1.item, and then distinct. I'm doing distinct in this place. You can also use all, and I'll let me do that, and after that I'll tell you what happens in this case. If this one of this table has all the unique values, then it can give you the circular reference error. If you want to avoid that, so instead of all, use here distinct, or you can use all, or you can use values. And then again, because I need distinct, it is not going to ensure distinct, either I have taken distinct inside. And that's why what we do is we do union all, and then finally we go ahead and take a distinct. But here we are going to take a distinct again. We have taken distinct values and we have taken distinct. So we got our item dimension, item lookup, item common table. And we are going to join this table also. And whenever we are saying create a common table, means create a common table and join it back with your tables. And whenever we are saying create date table, then the assumption is that you are going to join it with your date column. And you have to also make sure that the date column is a date column, it doesn't contain timestamp, because date table doesn't contain timestamp. So if you're creating something if you're creating a date table, it doesn't have a timestamp, so you should join it with a column which doesn't have a timestamp. If not, then create one which doesn't have it. And it doesn't mean you change data type in DAX is going to make it date. No, if you change the data type in Power Query, yes, it can make it date. But if you change it here in DAX, no, it's still going to remain internally as date type. Just changing data type to date is not going to suffice. So we got the one table, and we know same way we are going to create another table. So we are going to create another table which is category. So category table, how we are going to create again. Now we know union, and I can start with distinct. You have seen the code now, distinct, union, distinct from one table. So for our first table data, what we need is data cat, data one cat, comma, union can take more than one table. So distinct. So second argument of the union, again data 2. So what is the syntax? Basically union can have, like if I go to union here, and let's look at the syntax of the union first of all. We have not discussed that. So in union you can have n number of tables. It's saying table comma comma table table table, whatever number you table of you want. And the distinct take one particular column or can take table. We are going to give column because we are interested right now in table, and then we say data2 dot cat, data2 cat, and then we say another table is created. Now we go ahead and go to data model again, and when we look at data model, now again we have couple more tables, and let's go ahead and model those also. Let me move it here, and you can create, you can make it a little bit smaller for arrangement right now. Okay, so we'll create a space here. At least one table we can make it here. Other one definitely it has to overlap, so we can't do anything. So category join with category here, single directional category join with category here, and no problem till now. Very good. Now I go put item here, and you can do one thing. You can click on these three dots and say collapse all, and it will collapse it. It will only show the column now, because this it doesn't have right now the join, it is not showing it. So after the join it is better to do collapse all. So I joined item here, and I join item here also. Okay, now let's try to make one of them as bidirectional. Okay, so all the joins, let's make it a little bit larger and check it out. Does it have any problems? Right now everything is inactive. Let's say I try to make it as a bidirectional. See, you're not able to make it bidirectional. Okay, because if you create more than one bidirectional joins, then it's going to make loops, multiple paths, and that is why it's not there. So I'm not going to prefer any join with the date table which is bidirectional, because I don't want to my time intelligence, the best way to do the time intelligence, that my date table should not have a bidirectional join. So I'm going to keep it single directional. So now we got all our tables in, and let me show you the model a little bit by making it a little bit larger. Let me collapse it, collapse all. Let me make it a little bit larger. So with the mouse I'm making it, and let me bring it just into the middle. Now you can see the model. Okay, so this is my model where I have this category table joining to both the table, date joining to both the table, and item joining to all that. Now how do I do my analysis? Now the step is very simple. See, whatever is common you have to bring from common table. So if I want item, I need to bring from item. I don't have to bring it, and you can actually in fact go ahead in both the tables and hide these columns. So let me go to the model view and show you. See, model view, this is real big advantage here. So I go here because I don't need item here from category here and date from here. So I can go ahead and say hide in the report view. Same I go ahead with the control or with the shift you can do. So control click or shift click, and you can hide these columns. Hide in the report view, because we don't need these. So if I go to the report view now, I only have sales and purchase coming in from here. Now I can create measures for this, or I can simply use them. So from date table, I only need date. So I bring in date, and then from category table, I need category, and I'm going to bring it on the second position, and let me bring in sales. And the moment I bring in sales, it started showing me only data which is available for the sales. And then I bring in purchase from data table 2. So for all the dates where either sales or purchase is available, is going to show me data. Now you can compare data, bring it together. You can create measure. Now you want to, and one of the common question is that I want to create a combined measure on these two. So now I can do, let's say, diff, which is basically nothing but sum of sales minus sum of purchase. Or it could be reversed. Basically, it's purchase first and sales later. But our data is like this. And I created a measure. Okay. So the total difference is 62 minus 60, which is my negative 2. 60 minus 62 is my minus 2. That's what we are getting here. And let me make font a little bit bigger for you. And this is new format pane. So you will see few differences here. And you have this global font size, and I'm increasing this global font size basically so that you can see it. So in this manner, what we have done is we had two tables it doesn't have a common table. If I would have joined that an item or on category or on date, it could have created a many to many join. Or even if it doesn't create a many to many join, it would be really difficult because there are three common columns against which I want to analyze and I can't join it. And use relationship is not an ideal in this kind of scenario to activate the join, because I want all three of them participate like this. So in such scenarios where we have two fact tables, the two transactional tables, they contain the transactional data, we create these common tables or dimensions and analyze our data together with help from these dimensions. Please remember, you don't need this for grand total. I could have, even if it doesn't have, I can create a card visual and I can display the data at the grand total level without having a common dimension. But for rest of the things like date, category, item, geography, etc., you need common dimensions. If they are available in both the tables, some of the common dimensions may be only available in one table. At that stage, you can take a call whether you want to create it as a dimension or don't want to create it as a dimension. But ideally speaking, you should always create dimensions for such things. Now, in the case of DAX, another thing which we're missing is the numeric IDs, which if you want to do it in Power Query, we can have an index column and populate it back. That's another way. So whenever we do that Power Query example, we are going to try that out. Do let me know your feedback on this particular video. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.